recording has started. All right. We are here today to preview the upcoming 2024-2025 season that Manchester United is about to start in about 2 weeks' time, actually. I'm joined by my friend all the way from Shanghai, China. He happens to be a huge Manchester United fan. His name is Avery Chang. Avery, last year, Manchester United finished eighth in the Premier League, one of the worst Premier League seasons that any Manchester United fan could remember. They scored 58 goals and they allowed 59 goals against. And so their plus minus record was actually a -1. And somehow, some way, they still earned trophies by beating Manchester City in the FA Cup. So they'll actually participate in the Europa League this year. Champions League was a bit of a disaster, but what are your thoughts and feelings for this upcoming season?
I think realistically, between the manager and well, Champions League would be ideal. Winning the league is ideal, but if they're being realistic about the foundation they're trying to set up, top probably their goal is.
Okay, so are you happy that Eric Ten Hag has remained the manager for Manchester United? That's another big topic question that wasn't really addressed by ownership. And of course, the trophy to win the FA Cup kind of complicated matters. But are you happy he's still on board?
Having Eric Ten Hag on board still. I know Ineos prior to the FA Cup final, they were doing their diligence. They were talking with other managers, including Thomas Tuchel. But after Eric Ten Hag did end up winning the FA Cup, that shifted the time. Once again, they went out, they talked to other managers, potential candidates for this position, and they ultimately deemed Eric Ten Hag to be the best fit. For example, someone like Thomas Tuchel, I imagine the conversation ended up being Tuchel wanted more say in how things were going on. Ten Hag probably more of the yes. Ineos does their job. Eric Ten Hag will comply with Ineos's new Manchester.
But does the as a Manchester United fan, are you satisfied with that though? With the due process that United took?
Yeah, I'm. The process was okay. I think the manager search was valid. I know people would say, you should support your manager to the end of the season at the minimum. But I think it was as the new owners and seeing how poor of a season it was. I think it's okay for them to do the diligence as a fan individually. I'm okay with Ten Hag. If you compare it to the other available managers such as Tuchel or now Pochettino, or if you want to get wild, throw in Zidane. But you have to be satisfied with Thomas Tuchel or Eric Ten Hag.
Okay, fair enough. All right. How about the transfer window? Um, I saw that you guys brought in some 18-year-old French defender from Ligue 1. But besides that, besides an 18-year-old defender, have you guys contacted or contracted anybody else?
The first signing was Joshua Xerxes from Bologna of the Italian league from another Dutch player. But he hasn't started. He hasn't played the preseason because he was in uh, the Euro.
Sorry, Avery. You lost a little bit of connection right there. What were you saying about Xerxes? I think you mentioned that he didn't participate because he was in the Euros, you said? So he hasn't played at all in
Yeah, he's
preseason?
not in the preseason. He's not in the pre. Yeah, he's not in the preseason tour just because he's on holiday. Trying to
Okay.
take a break with the Euros. That's all.
He played? I didn't even notice his name, to be honest with you. I guess I just wasn't aware of him. But I saw my boy,
He
Ben. I didn't know.
so the funny kind of joke with Joshua Xerxes is because he is Dutch, but he didn't start, right? But off the bench after, whether it was Gakpo that came off the bench or that came off the lineup, came in, the substitute was Wout Weghorst, which was our previous striker
So
2 years ago. So even our new signing Joshua Xerxes is behind Wout Weghorst. So it's a bit questionable, but I'm sure it'll be okay.
okay, fair enough. And so Xerxes and what's his name? Yobu from the French league?
Lenny Yoro.
Euro. Those are it. Those are the only two signings for 8th place Manchester United.
At the moment, yes. So the intention for them is they do have already a lot of agreements with new signings, but they have to sell players in order to foster more money to buy those other players. And they haven't sold anyone of significance yet.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so Avery, my friend, as a Manchester United fan, I know you mentioned it at the very beginning of the video, but just remind us once more, what's your season preview? All right, so league table finish. How well are they going to do in the Europa League, in the FA Cup, and in the League Cup? And then we'll be done. What's your preview for all 4 competitions here?
All right, we'll go from bottom up. So the Energy Cup, Carabao Cup, I'm not semi-finalist finish. I think that would be solid. But the FA Cup, definitely final round again. Three in a row, like 3 final appearances, and everything is feasible. Europa League, I'm not sure because of the new format. I just know they have to play 8 games now in the qualification round, so I'm not sure how that shakes out. But obviously, you got it.
Avery, I think we lost you. What was your preview for? Sorry, real quick.
The EPL itself.
Okay, yeah. What's your preview
What
for
did you
this?
say?
I'm sorry, we lost a little bit of connection. Just your last points. What was the Premier League prediction? What place do you think that Man United can strive for? Top 4 finish, you say? Challenge the league?
I mean, they could strive for top 4, but they'll probably finish 6th. They'll finish 6th. Mostly because they don't have the depth. The depth is so necessary because just this past literally 2 days ago against Arsenal, Lenny Yoro and our striker Rasmus Højlund got injured, so no depth.
Yeah, well, no. No, that you're right. That's definitely a problem, right? Man, and honestly, I cannot see Ten Hag finishing the season if they are hovering in 6th place by the time Christmas period rolls around. Man, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, they have a hot start for sure, and I just don't foresee that happening.
Yeah. Anyways, Avery, thank you so much for your time. I know it's bright and early there in Shanghai, but I really appreciate that you joined me to talk a little bit about Manchester United. We could talk Spurs in the next video if you would like.
We can do that. Let's talk about Spurs next video. There's lots to talk about there too.
Lots to talk about. All right, bro. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Take care.